Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome, and if you guys have already been subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Today's video is gonna be this glam cut crease makeup look. I was not going for a cut crease look, but it just turned out like that, and nobody is mad at that. I am not. I'm going to test out a few of the new products in my collection, and I love almost everything in this video. So if you guys want to see how I achieve this glam birthday look, then please keep on watching. So let's begin. I'm super excited. I have a bunch of new things to test out, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. For primer, I have my Good Molecule Silicone Free Priming Moisturizer, and as far as I have tested this out, it's more of a moisturizing primer, which I really like, especially in this winter season. And because it's my birthday week, we're gonna go a little more glam. When do we not go glam, right? So because we have a new palette to test out today, I am planning to go a little more of a neutral glam. So after the primer, we're gonna move on to the brows. And for my brows, this is by no means a new product, but this is a new and a fresh one. So this is my Maybelline's Brow Ultra Slim, and I'm in the shade Deep Brown. So let me finish off my brows and then I'll get right back. What a difference a little brow makes, right? Now let's move on to the eyes, and today we have a new palette to test out, and this is Sahara Palette from Alter Ego, which absolutely dupes, at least by the shades, the Biba Palette. So we're going to test this out. I'm going to put it on a voiceover so that we can speed it up, and then we'll get in depth with this palette. First, I'm just going to prime my eyes with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer. Now, just to set the lids, I'm going to take the shade called Sands from the palette, and I'm just going to plop it all over my lid so that it has a smooth base for all the other shades to flow on top of it. I'm going to take the shade called Adobe from the palette, and I'm going to plop that in my crease. Oh, this is such a beautiful, a little more of a deeper skin tone shade. It's a pinky brown. I really like this shade. This actually reminds me of Puta from Jaclyn Hill palette. Now I'm going to take the shade called Fox from the palette, and I'm just going to deepen up my outer corners. And then I'm just going to build it up in my crease too. So far, the mattes are blending beautifully on my eyes. This by no means is a new palette, but definitely a new in my collection. I was looking for a neutral palette to have in my collection, and I had my eyes on the Biba palette for such a long time that it just made sense for me. Now, I'm going to take the shade called Canyon from the palette and just deepen up the outer corners just with like a chocolatey brown shade. Now, just to clean up my inner corners, I'm going to take the Milani concealer, and nothing particular, but I just want to clean up my inner third. Now, so that there's no harsh lines, I'm again going to take the shade called Fox from the palette and just run it right on the center where the concealer is meeting the deeper shade, so that there is absolutely no harsh lines there. Now I'm going to take the shade called Bronze from the palette. Oh man, that's such a beautiful bronze. And put it right in the center of my eyelid. Wow. That is breathtaking. I really hope that the camera is capturing it. And now I'm going to take Mirage from the palette. Oh man. These shimmers. I mean, I was not looking for a cut crease, but this went as a half cut crease, so I am not mad at it. Now let's move on to the face. I am so impressed by this palette, I cannot even tell you. So for my face, I'm taking my Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and I am in the shade Tan Medium Deep. Oh, that's too much. But this is surely quickly climbed up my ladder. I absolutely love this tinted hydrator. Now for my concealer, I'm taking my Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer, and I'm in the shade 145 Warm Beige. Dang it, I had few brushes to test out from Sigma Beauty, especially their crease brush. I'll use that in another video, but we'll definitely check out their concealer brush. And this is from their Practica line. I really enjoy their brushes. I already had a crease brush with me, and this is large blend brush, and I also had their small blend brush. I absolutely love these brushes from them, and I purchased the concealer brush, the shade brush, the flat shader brush, and the cut crease brush, which is E62. But so far the brushes are blending it beautifully. I definitely cannot see any streak marks. So far so good. Now I'm going to take my Soul Body bronzing balm, and I'm in the shade dark. This is also quickly become one of my favorite cream bronzers, I would say. I absolutely love the texture, the tone, everything. So much so that I'm dipping into this more than my Fenty cream bronzer. I know that's a big statement to give, but I am absolutely loving it. And if you guys don't know, this is like a dupe for Chanel's cream bronzer. Now for the face, I'm going to use my Smashbox Cali Contour medium dark face palette. I'm going to take that banana shade from the palette and put it right under my eyes. Even this face palette, quickly climbing up my ladder for the face palettes. I absolutely love the quality of the products that are included in it. And I think if you are like, I would say even my skin tone or a little lighter, go with a lighter version of this. This is definitely very, very pigmented. So I have to very carefully apply it all over my face. But of course, if you are more of a deeper complexion than me, this palette, you would love no matter what. You just have to apply it more carefully. Now for my bronzer, I'm going to take the lighter one out of the two. I've applied this only like once before on the camera, but off camera I've used it so many times I cannot even tell you. Absolutely a wonderful face palette to have in your collection. Now for my blush, I'm going to dip into both of these actually, just because the darker one will go with this look, but it is too dark, so I have to apply very carefully. So I'm just going to mix both of them, and look at that shade. It definitely has a subtle sheen to it, but I absolutely love everything about this palette. For the highlighter, I'm going to take this highlight. It's a very golden champagne highlighter, not over the top or anything, but definitely gives a very nice sheen on the face. You can definitely see that highlighter. That's blinding. But you can definitely go with a lighter hand too. I'm just going ham. Now just for an overall glow to the face, I'm going to dip into my Laura Mercier highlight number 1. And this is basically like a very, very subtle highlight, I would say, but definitely gives a very nice glow to the face. And if you don't want to invest in this, I would say the Essence Pure Nude highlighter in the lighter shade is exactly the same. And that is like, I would say under $5 for sure. Let me show you side by side. This is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. So this is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter and this is Laura Mercier. Can you see that? The tone, the way it shifts is like exactly the same. It's an awesome dupe from the drugstore. They also have this in a darker version, which is Be My Sunlight, which also I use all the time. Let's take the other Sigma Practique. Is it Practic or is it Practique? I don't know. But shader brush. And I'm going to dip into the shade called Fox and Adobe and run it on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to dip into that shade called Canyon and just go over the outer corners just to tie everything together. And this is that deep brown in the palette. I mean, I love the shape of this brush. It's flat but fluffy. So it's absolutely wonderful for the lower lash line and even for the nose contour for that matter. I mean, absolutely must have. Finally, I'm going to dip into that shade called Jewel from the palette and plop it in my inner corners. I mean, this is a stunning palette, guys. And also going to run it underneath my brow. Now, I'm just going to finish off my eyes with some eyeliner and I'm using my Wet n Wild Mega Liner just as usual and I'll be right back. Oh my god, I'm feeling this look. Cannot even tell you how much. Now, I have a new mascara with me and this is Maybelline's Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara, which looks like this. I've had it for a long time but not opened it. So today is the day to test it out. Not what I was expecting out of it. The bristles is more like a plasticky and more thin, I would say. Let's see. I'll just let it sit for a little while and then curl my lashes. I can see a lot of length, but my lashes are straight. So yeah, for you guys to see it, I'll have to curl it up a little. So let's wait for that. But in the meanwhile, let's finish off our lips. For my lips, I'm going to take my BFF2 lip liner from Colourpop. We definitely don't need any shine on the lips, but I have a new lip gloss from Essence and this is the Shine 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 lip gloss, wet look lip gloss, and this is in the shade Bright On. I definitely love these gloss line from Essence. If you guys have not tested it out, please do test it out, especially their clear gloss. I love that. It is more of a gel consistency. So let's see how this looks. I mean, see how wet it looks. I'm obsessed with these lipsticks. And this is my final look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my birthday glam look. I absolutely loved the way it turned out. I am especially a fan of these Alter Ego palettes. And this, I mean, were you guys eyeing Biba palette? Go ahead, get this. I mean, oh my god, I cannot. This is definitely going to be my go-to neutral palette from now on. I do not even have any doubts. Now let's move on to the swatches and the shades of this palette. In the first row, we have Mirage, Camel, Canyon, Plains, and Bronze. In the second row, we have Savannah, Adobe, Sierra, Jewel, and Fox. And in the last row, we have Sands, Raven, Clay, Slate, and Mesa. Now, when I see this palette, I mean, I definitely feel that these two burgundy shades feel a lot more similar, like even in the viewfinder I would say, but in real life this is much more deeper than this, and this shade and this shade appears to be quite a lot similar I would say, but this is much more cool tone and this is much more like reddy brown shade I would say. I feel like everything makes sense in this palette. I cannot say anything bad about this palette, guys. I am going to use this again and again. You guys are going to get like bored out of this channel, I think, because I'm going to use this that much. Now let's move on to the dupe. So I'm going to put Biba palette as well as Sahara palette next to each other and tell you guys which shade dupes which shade. Now, starting from the Natasha Denona Biba palette, in the first row we have Rustic, which dupes Bronze, Prairie, which dupes Plains, Cocoa, which dupes Canyon, Freckle, which dupes Camel, and Shine, that dupes Mirage. In the second row we have Pasha, that dupes Fox, Monroe, which dupes Jewel, Rain, which dupes Sierra, Buff, that dupes Savannah, and Tone, that dupes Adobe. In the last row we have Seed, that dupes Raven, Tar, which dupes Slate, Sculpture, that dupes Clay, Spot, that dupes Mesa, and Tusk, that dupes Sands. I mean, this is definitely an exact dupe, but even the quality, guys, I mean, I have dipped into that Natasha Denona Biba palette a lot. Like whenever I used to go to Sephora, I used to put my fingers in it and like swatch it just because I was mesmerized by the shadows, and this feels exactly like that. You will definitely not be disappointed. Again, the Biba palette is $129 and this Alter Ego Sahara palette is just for $60. By no means is this video sponsored by them. This is totally my true opinion. If you guys want to check for a code, I mean, there are a lot of sponsors that do have a code with them. So yeah, definitely put their code, buy the palette, but this is an awesome palette. Now talking about the other products, I definitely love this Good Molecule Silicone Free Priming Moisturizer. This has quickly become one of my favorite moisturizing primers, and I use this continuously, I would say, in my everyday routine. I absolutely love this. Now, I tested out the Sky High Mascara for the first time, and as you can see, it definitely gave me length and lashes, but I still love my L'Oreal Lash Paradise, to be very honest. By no means is it a bad mascara, but I like the more fluffiness that L'Oreal Lash Paradise gives. So I will definitely use this, but I like that one a little more. The Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, I absolutely love and adore. Totally a favorite of mine. Maybelline Brow Precise, a favorite. This a must have. If you are going to purchase one thing out of this video, I mean, go for this. You will definitely not be disappointed at all. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did like this, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.